Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with New York, leg of the American Road Trip 2. This is the final leg. This is the end. And this is the final prize car for the entire series. The Sick Seconds 1.0 Camaro SS. And we have the related Showdown, which is the Brooklyn Showdown. So I'm going to give you my quick take on both events here. First of all, it's 5 lock-ins to race 30 to get this 6 seconds Camaro. So let's look at the lock-ins. First of all, lock-in number 1 is almost any of these guys, that's a decent list of cars, and most people will have at least something. Many of us have the Super Snake, at least maxed on fusions and parts. To me, that's probably going to be your better choice. For earlier parts of the series, I did use the CTSV because I was anticipating we were getting a Cadillac milestone car. And if you do have a max CTSV and the milestone car is still missing fusions, well, this is one way to get some extra. Now, moving right along, lock-in number 2 is interesting in that you're allowed to use the Rides by Cam Challenger Havoc, which, again, it's an old car from an old American Road series, I believe, or if I'm remembering wrong, it's one of the older cars that's been around. And some of us have that maxed. Or you can use the new 2023 Corvette Z06. In any case, with a choice like this is, if you have one maxed and the other one not, pick the one that's maxed. That's pretty much the easy decision there. That being said, the Z06, Z07 package is also overall much slower than the Havoc, so I don't know how the challenges will be adjusted, but this car may have an easier time when it comes to combining times with other cars for sprints. So that brings me to the next car, which is the Mustang Mach-E. This car is not bad with lower upgrades, but again, without stage 6s and getting the right parts, you won't be able to get it super fast. However, it's already very quick, even at stage 5 only. The question is how tough it's going to be, but that's where having the Cam versus the Z06 7.3 car versus the 6.9 car, that could make a difference when you start combining it with these other cars. The next one on the list is the Tuatara Striker, a very fast car, and in fact it's the second to fastest car in the Showdown, which we're going to discuss in a second. This is also one of those cars that's, you know, if you don't have enough parts on it, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not going to be as good. So if you're missing stage 6s, missing fusions, and the relays and little things will come in play where all the numbers matter. Again, the Cam Havoc being fully maxed versus a not quite maxed Z06, Z07. You kind of know where I'm going with this again. Finally, the NASCAR Nexgen Camry would have to be used for the final portion of this. And understand, you're locking in everything by race 30. So you're only getting this far and all 5 cars are already locked in. So you're not getting much here before you're locked in, except for race 21 for one stage 6. Somebody's going to ask me, do you know which car that's going to be? I'm not sure. Some people may have better information on that than I do. But the reality is, you get to race 30, all cars are locked in, and now they're going to kind of shoot you back and forth with these 5 cars, including relays, which can include 2 cars, 3 cars, or 5 cars, depending on where in the races they are. Now, much like any of these past events, I expect difficult races, 63, 65, 66, and 70, probably not too bad. These two are probably not going to be terrible either, since they're relays. That means somewhere in here, this race, possibly this and this race for time is going to be challenging. And it really depends on which lock-in ends up with these races. Most likely it's going to be lock-in 3 and 4 rather than lock-in 2 and 5. That's going to end up near the end here. It's a possibility that it'll be 2, 3, and 4 for one of these, or 3, 4, and 5 for these 3. It really depends on how the developers put it. But you're going to want your Mach-E decently upgraded. You're going to want your Striker decently upgraded. Both cars, again, purple stars. So you know that getting the parts, even from crates, unless you're waiting a day for the free one from the event, that's going to take some effort. Now, The Showdown's important because that's where you're going to get that Camry that you have to use at the end. The Showdown's pretty straightforward, and I'm going to tell you right now that to win the Camry, you need 1,400 trophies, and the top car to win it until you get the final prize car from the event is the Tuatara Striker, fully maxed. Second to that, Mustang Mach-E, fully maxed. Then you go down to the NASCAR Nexgen Camaro or the Camry NASCAR, which is the prize. So really you're looking at this guy, and possibly this guy to get to 1,400 maybe on day 1. After that, on day 2 or 3, this guy here may be able to make it. And really you're still stuck with those top 3 being the best options. Once you get past like day 2 or 3, when most of the guys with these cars moved past you, then you can start thinking about Z07 package, Super Snake. The Super Snake, even fully max, fully elite, really isn't that competitive in this lineup. And none of the T4, T3s are even going to be anywhere remotely close to being competitive. At the least, anybody who has tried hard enough to get these prize cars, which are part of this Showdown, they're probably going to be decently upgraded and going to be decently fast. So you guys with the T4, T3s, well, maybe on the last day you'll get there. Super Snake, I would estimate first 3 days is going to be a struggle. Maybe 4th day, 3rd, 4th, 5th day, depending on your luck of what opponents you draw and how fast everybody else is moving past that 1,400, you may be able to get there. But day 1 and 2, probably these guys, that guy, you know, maybe some Z06 guys can make it there on day 2. I'm not positive. But that's, bottom line is, there's a very clear hierarchy of which car is going to do what to you, and the best car is going to be the fully maxed Tuatara Striker initially. And you're going to see a lot of them, I would say top 1,000 plus, starting on day 1, are going to run Strikers. And then once you get down to like the top 300, you'll be all fully maxed Strikers, fully maxed Mustang Mach-E's. And those 300 move past 1,400, then slowly we're going to see slightly slower cars from there. But nonetheless, none of these guys are going to be easy to build or cheap to build. And that's really the whole point of this event. It's to make Natural Motion a lot of money. Okay. Yes, it is also fun for the players in the sense we get new cars. We get all kinds of, you know, cool additions to the garage. And that's what this whole game is about, collecting cars and stuff. But the reality is the event is designed to make the developer money. I mean, that's, you know, why would they develop a game if they're not going to make any money, right? So in the interest of making that money, if you ever paid attention to any events like this, the Purple Star cars have paid crates. Yes, they're free every so often, but until they're free, you're paying, okay? And that's really what you're looking at. You got to pay to play. And the paying can be pretty excessive for one stage 6 at $4 a pop. That's $28 a stage 6 potentially. Now, it's $28 a stage 6 no matter what for tier 5. But what I noticed is that when I had the Mustang Mach-E selected earlier, it was only 12 crates rather than 14 to get to loyalty. So it's a little bit less. Now watch when I switch cars. And we take a look at the Mustang instead. That's F, so it's after Chevy, right? It's after Chevy. Let me see, where is it? Oh, I didn't select it. Okay, so let me try it with a different Purple Star car, see if it still comes out the same. But I don't know if that was an oversight or they already fixed it. But initially the crates were showing 12 paid crates for one stage 6 for my Purple Star Mustang Mach-E, which would have been nice because that would reduce the total up. It is still 12. So 12 is $24 versus $28. So I'm saving a few bucks per stage 6. That's all I'm saying. So that's something to keep in mind. Hopefully they don't fix it. And that's it. That is the whole gist of these kind of events. Natural Motion expects to make a few bucks off of us. Their few bucks is like, you know, maybe $100,000 a day or something like that. And then we as players get more development in the game, more cars, and the free-to-play players get the trickle-down cars that, you know, they select every season milestone car. That's free. Prestige Cup car, that's free. So there are hierarchies of how you want to play this game. You can spend tens of thousands of dollars, or you can spend very little. But if you spend zero, your chance of making it through New York is not very great. Okay, in fact, I would say is next to none. Even if you, pay someone to help you get through, you're still paying a few bucks. All right, so that is my quick take on the New York final as well as the related Showdown. Bottom line, good luck. If you have the right car, it's going to be a breeze. You don't have the right car, right parts, and right fusions, it's not going to be that much fun. Ultimately, the idea is that if you do win the prize car, you'll be rewarded with this awesome car. I've had the opportunity to review the car briefly on Nitro for CSR's account, and unfortunately it is much like past prize cars, super fast fully maxed and questionably useful otherwise. So take that for what you will. Well, I hope you liked the video. Feel free to ask me questions. I'll answer those that I can. Feel free to add your own information to the comments to help other players out. After all, that's why we make these videos. And if you like my channel, subscribe, hit the bell, get notifications when I put up new videos. As always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.